What are those?
These are rose bushes that I got you for your birthday. Oh.
So coming in for a plant tour. Up here we have a Peperomia pilea, type of friendship plant, because it sprouts up little pups that you can propagate and give to a friend, hence friendship plant. This is one of Steve's favorite plants.
The Dieffenbachia. Call it a Dief, otherwise dumb cane. Just exploded. And that's why I think it's cool.
A friend of ours didn't want it anymore, so we scooped him up. And then down here, this is actually there's two of them in there, yucca canes. There was one that we had at our workplace that was struggling a little bit, and these were the babies that we saved. This guy is kind of crazy looking here. This is a Philodendron Salome Hope plant.
Look at big leaves like this, and then it's just cool.
Okay, and then back here, he has these little propagation balls on him right now. This is a hibiscus. We call it a dragon hibiscus. I don't think that's what it really is, but it gives off really, really unique blooms. And I'm gonna jump around here a little bit, but there is another little hibiscus right here, and you can see he's got all his little dudes chopped right now. It's because that guy likes propagating.
I do, I love propagating.
And then we have this guy here, who is another Dief plant that Steve took in and saved from somebody who didn't have a home for him anymore. And then back here, which we'll probably do a little bit extra on, is one of Steve's favorite plants.
So I call it a croton, other people call it croton. What I love about this plant is these giant leaves that it puts out. But so like this one starts off with mostly green, but then eventually will turn to a lot of these leaves, or it gets the kind of splash marks on it, the variegation. And like this smaller part back here has a lot of like the cool colors. It's really neat. And they do tend to drop leaves, which can be a little disheartening when you're losing leaves like this.
One thing too is in the summer months, you may actually see these outside. They're used for landscaping pretty often because they like the sun. So they do really, really well outside in the summer, but sometimes if you want to keep one indoors and alive all winter, it can be a little work. And then, let's see, right next to him here, you can see this guy. It doesn't look like that much, but he's very cool. This is a vanilla bean plant, so it will actually, stays happy enough, start to produce flowers, which with a little help, some pollinating help, will make vanilla beans one day. And they're actually pretty neat because they latches right onto this pole. A little bit of an expensive plant, not one you see very often, but very cool. Kind of Hoya-like texture, maybe even thicker than a Hoya. He's new, so I'm still learning. And then we have this magnificent aloe, and I know aloes get really big sometimes, but this guy started out just like puny and tiny, like this little guy on the wall up here. And now he looks like that guy. So pretty happy with him. And then behind we have, this is actually one of Steve's favorite plants as well. It has a long name, but we call it a Bella palm. I think it's pronounced
Neanthobella.
Yeah.
Neanthobella palm. But so far this one's doing incredible, and I love this. I love the fronds.
And then this guy up here, I'm sure most people have seen them, spider plant. This one was from one of our amazing clients, gifted us these little babies in this pot. Which, spider plants, I always thought they were easy, but they're a little bit harder than I thought they were.
Well, at least for us.
And then back here, this one is is a beautiful Hoya. I believe this is a Hoya carnosa. He's climbing up into the hibiscus over here, and then what he's also climbing into, which is probably not super easy to see because it's more like a stick with a few leaves on it. And then follow the trunk down into this pot. This giant stick is actually one of our very first office plants. It is a lemon tree. It makes beautiful Meyer lemons when it's happy and healthy. And then in its pot down here, we also have a Peperomia obtusifolia, which is also known as a baby rubber tree, and they're so satisfying. I love the leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what plant's next, Steven?
Well, I would say that the what's this one called?
Calathea.
Calathea. This one, I don't know. I had a fascination for. This is actually like the brown leaves is typical for this plant because they want a lot of hydration, and unfortunately, in this building, the hydration or the humidity in here is quite low.
Okay, and then we have, gonna be honest, it's some kind of a ficus that we're also trying to bring back. A thing to note is that we have rescued quite a few plants from the grocery store that we work at that were kind of on death's door. So these ones that look pretty sad, it's just while the grocery store is figuring out a watering schedule, some of them ended up doing this.
But yeah, it happens.
So this one here though is a Betonia, also known as a nerve plant. Grows really fast, is super pretty, and very dramatic. Not one if you travel or you're not home often. You go 2 days without watering this guy and it is just totally wilted. That's why it like grows downward instead of up, because it's wilted so many times that it just lives
and I will
in this
say
awkward shape.
a downfall to this plant is putting it in terracotta. Just because terracotta wicks away a lot of moisture, and it helps plants stay less wet, and it's not a good choice for this plant. They kind of have what Holly mentions to them as like dandelion stems. Like the kind of tubular stems that when it runs out of hydration, they just faint. So it's had its struggles, but it turned out really cool. So yeah, as long as I water it about every 2 days, it does great. Loves it.
Okay, and then next I'm going to show this little guy so we don't forget about him. This little guy is a desert rose. And that's what he is. I think he flowers maybe sometimes when he's happy.
Yeah, if he has the perfect conditions, usually he does, but he's not really in the best.
We've only had him.
Right now.
We've only had him for a few months, and
Yep.
he chills there. He likes it. And then this magnificent mama,
The Norfolk.
he's
chilling.
magnificent.
He's happy.
And let's see if we migrate over here. This guy is known as a Fatia, just a big old beautiful plant. Gets a lot of attention. And then we come down here. We were told when we got this that it was a holly plant. We're not totally sure that's what it is, but it is some kind of a berry plant.
As I say, I think I looked it up and it was like a marberry. Not mulberry, but marberry.
And then this is a money tree. He's chilling back there, right next to this pretty cool elephant. And this plant here is a philodendron Prince of Orange.
Orange Prince. Something like that.
Orange Prince. Yeah. It's orange. I don't know. It comes in, the leaves come in orange, and then they turn green with these pretty red centers. Orange, whatever it is. And then this one is super pretty. This is another philodendron.
Yep.
It's a dragon tail.
Whole plant. It's awesome.
And then, let's see. This guy is some kind of a ficus. I'm not exactly sure what kind of a ficus, but he's happy.
Very healthy from what he started out as.
And then up here on the wall, there's a little leaf plant next to a moonlight philodendron, which is very similar to a neon pothos, which are much more common. This does have a slightly different growing pattern, and I think it grows slower, but I think they're prettier personally. Though we do have some neons that are pretty too. And then this one is another tiny little nerve plant and a cute little aloe. And then over here, this guy goes by a couple names. Swiss cheese plant, Monstera Adansonii. It took a long time to get it to go up, but now that it's growing, it seems to be kind of happy.
This is like a week's worth of growth.
And then down below we have, this is 2 plants here. It looks huge, but this is 2 plants of Monstera deliciosa. I think I'm pronouncing that right, but that's just so pretty.
This is also a fairly new leaf. As well.
And there's 2 of them there. And there's 1 pot and 2 pots, and then down below here, it gets kind of shaded by this guy, but there is a spathiphyllum, also known as a peace lily. And then here we have a rubber tree. Here's a bath, but...
Yep. And both of the spathiphyllum and the rubber tree here are both rescues as well.
And then back here, this little yellow spotted guy is another croton. So you can tell it looks quite a bit different than, this guy. But still in the croton family.
This one is also a save.
Rescue.
Rescue.
And this adorable little cypress tree. Steve's mom brought over to the office, and we have another fountain. And a traditional ZZ plant. This is one of our first office plants. We definitely did not give it enough water when we first got it. And back here, we call this a Khaleesi plant. I think it probably is not the correct.
Calesia is what I've
Yeah.
seen before. Kind of a hard plant to find online, but there are a couple areas I saw for propagating them, which
Super
is
cool.
actually pretty easy.
And then I think that's most of them on this side. Then we come over here. We have a few more plants. This is a ponytail palm. Looks like an onion. And this is a Song of India. I believe it goes by a different name. I think it might be a type of Dracaena, but it's marketed as a Song of India. And this one, what kind of lily is this?
This is a calla lily.
Calla lily.
Also a rescue.
And then this beautiful, beautiful plant is a banana, which we got this last summer, and he was tiny, you know, he's just lush. And these leaves are so pretty. Gorgeous leaves. All right, and then over here, this guy is a pothos. It's a place of plants if it doesn't have a pothos. And then we got this guy over here, which is a lucky bamboo, although it's not really bamboo. It's a type of Dracaena. It's called a lucky bamboo. And he's cute. And then that's most of them in the office area. And then we're gonna walk into the messy office that we have back here and show you a few other ones. These are usually ones that are a little more sad right now maybe, but we're in healing. This guy, what is this?
That is an Australian umbrella tree.
He's cool. There's a Song of India propagating here. Only fake plant in the office. These are some Monstera Adansonii props, along with a struggling begonia prop. And then over here, try to scan to you. Beautiful plant, nice and big, lush. We have another hope plant, philodendron. There are some little succulents that are growing here. These are string of dolphins. This might be a donkey tail, but it could just be a random succulent. I'm not sure.
It's a different type of succulent.
And then this, what is this?
That is a poinsettia.
That's a poinsettia.
That was once lush and beautiful and has made it to this point.
Same thing with this one. Was once lush and beautiful as a red nerve plant or a Fittonia.
It's starting to bounce back.
This is spearmint.
That's spearmint.
Spearmint. And then this is a, what is this? Bromelaid?
Yep, bromelaid.
Little bromelaid. This is some kind of succulent.
Like a coral succulent.
There's a money tree that's
Trim back.
trimmed back.
Hopefully it'll survive.
This is a jasmine. And that is a gardenia that is constantly dealing with mealies.
Yep, it's a struggle.
All right, guys. Oh, we also have this one. What is the name of this one? A trio star.
Trio star.
Living in this terrarium. I almost forget about him back there.
And then we got the 2 in the bathroom here. 3, 4 in the bathroom.
Bathroom plants.
5 in the bathroom.
Well, this one cracks me up because
We put that in.
it's in a bathtub. It's in a bathtub. These are a bunch of little babies that are propagating right now. They look like hibiscus. And there's a cool air plant chilling. And there's Scandia. And then
Have
a
an
Schefflera.
umbrella tree. Yep. Schefflera. It's a technical name. This thing is just constantly growing. The bathroom at our business doesn't get a whole lot of light, natural light. So actually I just kind of spoil it and leave the bathroom light on all the time. And it loves it.
And then, I'm sure you can guess,